In a world that is racing toward renewable energy, cleaner transportation, and smarter technology, a quiet revolution has emerged from a place most people never expected. Africa, a continent often overlooked in conversations about futuristic technology, is suddenly at the center of global attention. Why? Because an invention has surfaced that seems almost too good to be true: a self-charging electric vehicle that runs without fuel, without constant plug-in charging, and without the endless limitations we've come to accept as part of owning an EV. Imagine, just for a moment, a car that never needs to stop at a gas station. A car that doesn't require you to constantly hunt for charging stations, wait for hours while the battery fills up, or panic when you see your range dropping to zero on a lonely highway. Imagine a vehicle that generates its own power, that sustains itself, that truly embodies the dream of infinite mobility. For decades, science fiction painted pictures of machines that could seemingly run forever, harvesting energy from the world around them. Now, in the heart of Africa, that dream is starting to look like a reality. The story begins with an inventor and a vision. This vision was not born in Silicon Valley, not in the tech corridors of Tokyo, and not even in the automotive capitals of Germany or Detroit. It came from Africa, a place often underestimated in the field of technological innovation. And yet, time and time again, history shows us that disruptive ideas don't always come from where people expect. This self-charging EV is a perfect example of that. What makes this car special is not just the fact that it can move without traditional charging, but how it challenges the very foundation of what we believe about energy. Science textbooks have told us for centuries, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. Every electric vehicle in existence today operates on this principle. You plug in, you fill up the battery, and then you discharge it as you drive. Eventually, you run out, and you need to plug back in. But this car claims to break free from that cycle. How? The details remain mysterious. Some say it involves harvesting ambient energy from the environment, thermal, kinetic, or even electromagnetic fields. Others whisper that it uses advanced power management systems that recycle and regenerate energy far beyond what regenerative braking in a Tesla could ever do. Whatever the mechanism, the promise is staggering: a vehicle that powers itself forever. Skepticism, of course, surrounds the idea. Engineers and scientists shake their heads and say it's impossible. They argue that perpetual motion machines cannot exist, that the laws of thermodynamics are absolute, that there must be some hidden battery pack or secret power source. But here's the thing: people have seen it. Demonstrations have been recorded. Videos have spread online showing this car in motion, running without fuel, without charging cables, and with a confidence that leaves even the harshest critic speechless. Whether you believe it or not, one thing is certain: the world is watching. And if this invention truly works the way it's claimed, it could change everything. Now let's pause and think about what that really means. The electric vehicle revolution has been one of the biggest stories of the 21st century. Companies like Tesla, Rivian, BYD, and Lucid have poured billions into making EVs mainstream. Governments are offering subsidies. Charging infrastructure is being built in cities and along highways worldwide. But even with all this investment, one problem remains unsolved: range anxiety. People hesitate to buy EVs because they fear running out of charge, they don't like waiting hours at a charging station, and they don't trust that charging infrastructure will be everywhere they need it. A self-charging EV obliterates that problem. It doesn't just reduce range anxiety, it eliminates it entirely. Suddenly, electric vehicles are not just environmentally friendly, they are infinitely practical.
No fuel, no waiting, no limit.
Think about the ripple effect. If such a car becomes commercially available, oil companies will feel the shockwaves first. Imagine millions of drivers around the world who no longer need gasoline or diesel. The multi-trillion-dollar petroleum industry could collapse overnight. Governments that rely on oil exports, countries whose entire economies are built on fossil fuel, would face an unprecedented crisis. At the same time, renewable energy industries might boom, because the core principle of self-sustaining energy could be applied to far more than just cars. Homes, factories, even entire cities could one day run on systems that generate power without fuel. For Africa itself, the impact would be even more profound. Too often, African countries are seen as consumers of foreign technology, not producers. But here, Africa is not just catching up, it's leading. The continent has become the birthplace of a breakthrough that the rest of the world can't ignore. Suddenly, Global media outlets are paying attention. Investors are calling. Engineers are flying in to see the invention with their own eyes. Politicians are scrambling to understand what this means for energy policy, for trade, for the future. But let's get personal.
Imagine an ordinary driver, someone living in a small town in Africa.
They buy this car, and for the first time in their life, they don't worry about fuel costs. They don't worry about power outages affecting their ability to charge. They don't worry about infrastructure. They simply drive. For families, for businesses, for entire communities, the economic relief would be immense. Transportation would become more affordable, more reliable, and more accessible than ever before.
Now, skeptics will say, this is too good to be true.
And maybe they're right. Maybe hidden behind the curtains is a technology that has limitations, a technology that cannot scale, or a system that requires something we haven't yet been told. But history is filled with inventions that were once mocked, dismissed, or ridiculed, only to later become essential parts of our daily lives. Airplanes, electricity, even the idea of the internet, all faced critics who swore they were impossible. Today, we take them for granted. Could this self-charging EV be another one of those turning points? Somewhere in a workshop, the inventor explains to a crowd how the car works. His voice is calm, confident. He says, "This is the future. Energy is all around us. We just need to learn how to use it." The audience is stunned. Some whisper to each other, some take notes, and some just stand there in disbelief. Outside, the car sits quietly. No cables, no fuel tank, no trick. Just a machine that moves, powered by a secret the world is desperate to unlock. Meanwhile, in corporate boardrooms thousands of miles away, executives are having very different conversations. Oil magnates wonder if their empire is about to crumble. Car companies debate whether they should fight this invention or try to partner with it. Politicians worry about what this could do to global stability. Because make no mistake, if Africa really holds the key to unlimited clean transportation, the balance of power in the world could shift forever. For the average viewer, though, the excitement is more personal. A car that runs without fuel, that charges itself, that doesn't cost a dime to keep on the road, that's a dream. And dreams are powerful.
Dreams move people.
Dreams create revolutions. So tonight, as you sit and think about the future of electric vehicles, remember this: the next big breakthrough might not come from the companies you've heard of, or the countries you expect. It might come from Africa. And it might change your life sooner than you think.